oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong?
Yes.
And in reality, it's just that those people that the new leads just don't know you enough yet. They haven't been on that journey with you long enough to develop that know, like, and trust.
Yes.
So that's where you got to really manage your mind in business, right? It's based on the average. But here's what I noticed. And it was about 6 weeks in with me when it started being predictable. But you know why it was predictable? My email list. Because they had been 6 weeks in my email list, so they had really been nurtured really, really well. And so it's not really based on the amount of leads you get every day. It's just that building that email list, right? So that's one of the things that we're going to do. So make sure in the Clarity to Cash, you guys are adding your data every single week so we can keep track of that. And there might be times when we have to jump on a Zoom and edit a few numbers and make a few changes. But the worst thing you can do is make a lot of changes at once.
Right.
Because if you make a lot of changes at once, you don't know it was broken.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the worst thing. You're like, oh, I'm going to change my message.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this. And then you have no idea what was broken.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you start making changes, it's one thing.
Okay.
Oh, Mike, can you shut that door? Thank you. It's one thing, right? So when I was tracking my system, the first thing I did was if my leads decreased, but my consistency stayed the same, I would change my hashtags. Because I found hashtags can plateau a little bit. So that's what I did. Then I would change my hashtags for 7 days. And then if in 7 days later, if my numbers were not increasing, then I changed something else.
Did you change every hashtag or one at a time or
No, I just got my hashtags.
all hashtags?
And then I would literally, use,
Okay.
right. I would try different hashtags.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how do you come up with those hashtags? Is it ChatGPT or something else?
No, I go inside, like I use TikTok, right? So
Yes.
I'll go inside TikTok and I will type in something that I know my customer would type in.
Yes.
And I will scroll over to hashtags and I will
Okay.
look at hashtags.
Mm.
I personally, I do use digital marketing,
Mm.
but the thing is it's pretty saturated. So the chances of you showing up to that hashtag is going to be very, very rare.
Mm.
So I personally like digital marketing tips
Mhm.
because you can show up to that hashtag.
Mm.
See, when Marianne's video went crazy,
You want to leave?
guess what happened? She dominated every single one of those hashtags. So if somebody clicked on that hashtag, it was Marianne. Click on that hashtag, it was Marianne. So instant brand of do you want to work until the day you die?
Mhm.
And so that's why I personally like the 250,000 range with hashtags is a really good, or lower is the what spot. 250,000 or less is a really good one. But I just still use digital marketing or passive income, but very rare. And I try to just stay lower with hashtags because I want to dominate those littler ones. Like I want somebody to click on a hashtag and see 5 or 6 or 7 of my videos. Because then all of a sudden it's like, okay, she's everywhere. Who is she? Right? Because that's really the goal with that. So that would be the first thing I changed. But I love creator research insight, creator.
Yeah.
What?
They've updated that.
Yeah.
So when you go into that, they do it. So now you can actually click on it.
Yeah.
And you
Hashtags,
can
everything.
all your hashtags,
Yes.
your books that you should be using.
Caption.
It'll literally give you everything. in it.
Oh.
And here's the thing, everything they give you is based on what people are typing in. So if you use that, you have to put on your hook or in your video exactly what it says.
Yes.
And it sounds awkward but you have to, because that's what people are searching, because it's based
You have to
on that.
say it a couple times. You have to put it everywhere.
Yes, it is
How to
my
make money
hook,
online?
it is my description, and I type it in
Yes.
the video and I push it to the very bottom where you can't even see it. So it's on the video the entire time. It's on the hook, it's the description, and it's the cover. And I say it at least 2 to 3 times. And it's the hashtag and creator research whatever.
That's good
It is
hashtag.
also the hashtag I use.
Yeah.
So if you struggle with hashtags, you can go there and get tons of hashtags.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And then what I do is like if I do a video from there
Mm.
and they give me hashtag ideas, I will use those exact same hashtags for all my videos for 1 week.
Mm.
So I use those because they will give you hashtags that maybe have 10 to 12,000. But all of a sudden, if I have 21 videos under that hashtag, who do you think's popping up?
You?
And that's why. And I can always tell I can always tell something's going on. Like, okay, why am I getting so many leads? It's either I had a video get a lot of views or I'm dominating a hashtag.
Okay.
So that's how I do it. So then that's the next, so then the next thing I'll change is if I change my hashtags and it's not working, and then it's my hook. I'll go right to the hook and I'll change up my hooks. So what I'll do is I will literally, this is exactly how I do it. I will literally take my hooks that have got the most engagement and the most views. I will put those hooks into ChatGPT and I will say, recreate me 21 more like this. That's it. Yeah, and I'll just, and so it'll create me, sometimes I'll do create me 7 more like this, and then I'm gonna create me 7 more, add more urgency, create me 7 more, add more heart center. You know, I'll do that math to come up to 21. So that's what I do, because if it's worked before, it will work again, right? I don't have to rethink new ones. So then that's the what you go through. Then the next week, let's say it's still not working, right? The next week, then I'm going to make sure that I'm starting my video when I'm cutting off the first word. I don't know, there's something weird about that it works really, really well. If there's a space in the middle, you will notice most people leave it 3 or 4 seconds. If you start in the middle of a word, for some reason, they just want to listen. I don't know what it is, but I tested it. So anyway, that's what we're going to walk you through with this, right? Inside this, making sure that we're tracking this number.
Do you use the same strategy for description and cover text in your storefront with ChatGPT, or like what you use for cover text? And
My cover is usually the same hook.
okay.
I might have to make it a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
but
exactly, because the hook can be a sentence and a longer. So if you want to have a few words on it. But, yeah. Okay.
And so tracking is everything, right? So you really want to track that. But again, just don't change your hashtags up and change the hook and do all these different things, because then you don't know what was broken.
Mhm.
That's really, really important. Okay. And how I will follow up with the leads. I recommend a weekly newsletter. If you do a weekly newsletter on Sundays and you're just more value driven or giving them something, you know, no asking for anything, like putting your link in there. This is how you do that. In the PS, reply to this email with any questions. Or reply to this email with, what was the favorite thing you did this weekend? I remember it was it Christmas morning or Thanksgiving morning? And I did it. I just said, you know, wanted to check in with you. I just said, I just wanted to check in with you. No, this is a time of the year. Hey, sister. How are you? Hey, Boba. That's my two grandkids. Come here so I can see you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
They're downstairs waiting for you. That's my secret.
So do you like the theme of that Sunday to be kind of more positive? Curiosity, well, obviously, if you're asking them to respond, it's gonna have a curiosity
Well,
question.
my response can be like, what did you do this weekend that you loved the most?
It's more personal, right?
Or
So
what was
they get to
what,
know
what
you.
was something you did this weekend that was hard? What was the struggle you had?
Okay.
What is the struggle you've had as a mom? What is the struggle you are having as a mom? What is the struggle you're having at, you want to retire in the next 3 years? What is that struggle you're dealing with? So that's what type of email I'd like to be on Sunday.
Gotcha.
I don't ever have my website in there, but I do always have a reply. And I'm here for you. But that check-in one, I just said, you know, so I see you. And this is a time of the year where a lot of us deal with guilt.
Mhm.
You know, we're exhausted because we have a fake smile on the outside.
Yeah.
Because our family can't see us be sad. But I just want you to know I see you. Blew up. I mean, that email blew up. Kind of like what we talked about, you know, with that story you shared in there. And it is, and that's all I said. And they could tell I heard it from my mom.
Right.
Because it hit, because many of us have many holidays like that, you know, where,
Mhm.
and so that's what I do, but your goal is to get them to reply. Not because you want to make money off them, because you truly want to know where that barrier is. How can you make them feel safe in that connection? Because connection equals currency.
Right.
And I've done emails on Sunday where I'm showing a picture with the kids.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know, we're doing a webinar on Wednesday. I want you to be on the webinar. I want you to be sending me pictures of you and your kids living your new life.
Mm.
You know, reply to this email with the webinar details. I mean, I'll do CTA as well, but
Mhm.
it's never my week on Sunday. It's working really well for me, right? You guys have always got to be testing things.
Mhm.
And the thing is, they're in my automations, so they're already getting emails from me, every day or every 3 days, or you know what I mean? After the 30, well, I'm on 43. I think they get 43 emails every day. So, but yeah, you've got to do the follow-up, right? And another thing with the follow-up is, you guys, when you start building an email list, do the weekly webinar. Huge for your potential customers. They just want to feel part of something. If you have a community, get them in your free community. Build the rapport with them there.
I will say this, Lee, who was my main customer, she actually went through the webinar. That's why she decided to join.
Yeah.
Hear what she said.
Why you decided to join is went to a webinar. Yeah. It's interesting. If you ever hear the stories of the 6-figure income earners, what do they say? I was on a webinar. That's what helped me make the decision. And I a lot of it is because they see the bigger picture.
Right.
They see it. That's why the webinars just really, really work so well. Yeah. And again, if you're struggling with that clarity, I help achieve what's the result using what tool with, that just work on that really, really good. You can spin that around 100 different ways. But the thing is you have to fill this out and you have to look at this and you have to already see the 10 customers in 90 days.
Mhm.
Because if you just talk about it today and never look at it again, guess what? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It will only happen because you drive your vehicle to those results.
Mm.
Yes, son. Yep.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
goes, were you looking just at me? Yes, I was. No. Anyway, so here's the part though. And this is really huge. This is what will make your community or your content so much better. These right here, and this the clarity you're going to offer, and that is what transformation will they experience by working with you?
Mm.
Sometimes when I do audits, or when I just, my video is uploading and I look at others, it's so generic to get in the program. You've got to be that purple cow. You got to spit it out. And that is by letting them know what transformation they're going to have by working with you. So that is so important because if you can get somebody to feel that and see that, and you want to get your lives to convert more, that's it. They know. I don't want them to get off and be like, oh yeah, I might be interested in the Legacy Builder program. No, I want them to get off and be like, oh my gosh, I have to work with Cindy.
Mhm.
She is going to get me where I need to go. That's your main goal, right? Is that transformation that they can see that you can give them. Like that is so important. So take the time on that, right? And the other part is, why should they take action now? That's the huge one. Why should they take action now?
Why wait?
Well, like the video we did, I told you the end of April and in May.
Yeah.
My content was all about, do you want to be that mom watching other people, you want to be scrolling on social media and watching all the vacations
Right.
other parents went on this summer with their kids, or do you want to be the one,
Right.
We'll see.
posting your vacation? And so that was why they need to take action now. I work my business in seasons, so you'll hear me in by the end of July, August. Are you going to be that mom that's going to be in the utility room or the laundry room cleaning the backpack from last year with tears rolling down your eyes because you can't even afford a $42 backpack for your child? They got to use the same backpack. And it's not that they have to use the same backpack; it's that you can't afford that.
Right.
Because would an extra $900 help you be able to get new shoes and new clothes and a new backpack for your child? The longer you wait, longer you'll have to be cleaning that backpack.
Mm.
How many more years do you want to do that? That stinks.
Yeah.
But that's my next thing. That's what I'm leading into when it goes to that. Then next is the holidays. Next is New Year, right? So it's always 90 days runs that I'm thinking about why they need it now. That's the urgency. You always have to pay urgency. Because if you go look at my content when we travel, I talk about that. It's the vision. It's like I'm here, I'm able to build a business, and then I'm going to get off of here, then I'm going to go spend the rest of the day with my family. And it's those things that get them. So you need to know what transformation they're gonna get by working with you and why they need to get started now.
What happens if you don't get this fixed?
Yeah. Those are the things right there. If you can master that, whew, 10 in 30 days, 10 in a week.
Mm.
That will help.
Million in 5 months.
Yes, absolutely. It's just it's a clarity, the confidence. Yeah, it is. So what I want you to do is when you look at the weeks here, right? Because I have it broke down over this, but the funnel task, your conversions, you just need to track that, right? But I just put it on here so you can visually see it, but it's that Google sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's so important. I track every Sunday.
Mm.
Every Sunday, I know what theme I'm gonna do, because I do themes for the week. It works good with me. So, and now you probably go, oh, I get that. And it's so funny, because if I'm gonna repurpose content, I'll just go see what theme I did, because I can tell by my Sunday videos what theme I did a year ago. So what I mean by that is I might go heavy on the 2-hour workday. I might go next week, I might go heavy on the 100% profit. Then the next week, I might go heavy on automations. Then the next week, I might go heavy on not having to bother friends and family or find customers or DM people, right? Then the next week, it might be being able to make 100% profit off of other people's products. You know, I always have one that I want them to hear it over and over and over, because it takes more than once for somebody to hear something. So if that helps you, because that's why I don't ever have to think about what I'm talking about, because I just know what theme and I know what's worked before, and I just repurpose those hooks. Say, like he said yesterday, just say the same thing in 1,000 different ways. That's it.
So
I
we should,
should,
do you plan out those content themes like a month ahead, or just every week you pick a new one, or how do you do that?
I mean, I just gotta rotate. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I just know. So what I did is and you guys have seen it all before. How I take the,
Just doing it.
no, I don't want to mess with it. You know how I do this?
Mhm.
You know, how to get them here, and
Yeah.
it's the 6 things, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I did the problem and the solution.
Mhm.
You know, problem, no time. Then the 2 hours. No money, low investment, or, you know, I'll do the low investment, and then I'll also do, profit mode, 1 customer, you know? With 1, right? And I'll do this, low percent, 100%. So I talk about all the problems, and then how do I get them happy, and here's the solution. So then that's the topics I know what I'm talking about. So then if it's the no time, then I'm really gonna lean into the 2-hour workday.
And is that for a
No
week?
tech.
Was that for a week or for a day? That's it.
This would be 1 week.
That's 1
You
week.
know,
Okay.
on 1 week.
Okay, gotcha. Mhm.
And so I just have that chart, and I've always used that. Cause it's like I'm getting them here, I'm getting them here.
Okay.
So I'll just go really heavy on them. So, but we're gonna really help you go through this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
well, Michelle, I use, when you talk about doing that month content creation calendar, or whatever, using ChatGPT,
Uh-huh,
I did that, and I told it that each week was a certain theme, so that my folks were,
yes.
you know, related to like 2-hour workday, or the,
Oh, good.
whatever, you know, whatever the other ones were, so that I could keep it straight.
Well, I love that. Yeah, that's great. I love that. The other thing is that, and this is really what I want you to really focus on, because you guys got your $1 million message this weekend. But it's gonna be easy to want to change it, because you got I call it the micro anxiety, right? Where, you know, back when we were young, it would take 20 minutes to heat up popcorn on the stove, you know, because you had to turn the oven on and heat up the pan, and then heat up the oil, and then put the corn in, you know, and it was like a process. It was like a cool thing to watch. Right now, we get frustrated. It takes a minute. And it's like, so that's something you'll want to change it. You'll overthink it. So I want you to write here, it says, what are my next 3 steps to launch your new brand? And this is something, and this is what you're really going to focus on. And that is saying, the first one is saying the same thing over and over. Just like when you walked up to me, Kathy, you're like, you knew exactly what it was.
Yep.
And you just say that over and over. That's what builds a brand. How many times have you guys heard just do it with Nike?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just saying that over and over, and then you're gonna find other ways to really spin it. That's why I'm like, you guys take the time and interview each other. And one of the main questions you should ask when you interview and say, so who do you help? Then you're saying that over and over. And you imagine if 15 people interview you and the first question they say, who do you help? And you're saying that over and over, that's when the confidence comes. And after confidence creates connection, and connection creates a currency. And then if you start posting all those videos, people are going to hear that over and over and see you interviewed by a bunch of people. There's your authority. There's your credibility.
Nice.
It's seriously that simple.
And how about our origin story?
Yeah. Well, so with that, what I would do with that is you need to plug that into ChatGPT
Yes, yes,
with your new $1 million message.
yes.
And then what I would do is I would say, I am a professional copywriter.
Mhm.
And I use the words compassion, empathy, urgency, and heart center. It's the 4 things I like for my email list. And I'm like, recreate these emails and add them based off of my origin story and my $1 million message for my customer.
Mm, okay.
And then you can just take the time and plug, copy and paste that email in and say, recreate this towards my perfect customer.
Mm. Yeah.
Beautiful. And then what I always do, which Mike taught me that, he goes, now give me another version.
I do give me 7 versions always. I don't know, those one is like the funny one, then there is like the serious one, there is the bold one,
Yeah.
there's sassy one, there is like it's like ooh, I like that.
But you think about it, all you gotta do is if you just did 1 a day or 2 a day, because you'll still be ahead. You'll be 1 ahead.
Can you repeat, so you put all that in there with your message, you're a professional copywriter, and you ask it to include like compassion, empathy.
I do. Like, what if the ones you would be, you know,
Okay.
that you would, like, it was interesting, the last Florida to Cash, it was amazing, Tanya Zimmerman's
Mm.
ChatGPT. So if you guys have been around Tanya, she's like harsh and to the
Yeah.
point, like she'll slice your throat and then she'll hug you. Like seriously, so that's her. And so did her ChatGPT. Like I was scared of her ChatGPT. I felt uncomfortable.
Like, what
Like
to do?
I literally need to have her come on and do a training, and you guys need to hear her ChatGPT talk to her.
Okay.
It comes at her.
Terminator 2.
Like, what was some of the words it was saying? I can't believe
Why
it.
did you do that?
Why did she do it? Because she wanted ChatGPT to talk just like her. So she trained it, so that way all of her content literally is saying words that she says. And it's wild. Like everybody watches, like, because they know Tanya, right? And then they heard her ChatGPT and they're like, oh my gosh.
Mm.
It is actually really powerful.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if next week I'm 35, she'll talk and you guys can hear her ChatGPT. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, but if you put your origin story in there, and if you put your $1 million message and the ones you stand, like she would not put compassion. She would put cut throat and get to the point. But that's her style. Like, that's her style. And that's why she's having so much success, because she's got ChatGPT to talk like that and she talks like that. It's really actually really cool. But when I saw that, I realized how important it was to put so much data of who you are to ChatGPT, because it will truly, like, what did it call her? It called her sassy, but what else did it call her? I mean, it was hilarious.
It's pretty brutal.
It was very brutal. That's a good word. She goes, see, just like me. Just like me. And we're like, yes, it is. We all wanted to set up straight after we heard the ChatGPT. It was the coolest thing ever. It was wild. But anyway, I will have her, I just want you guys to hear her talk to that ChatGPT and how it responds back to her. In her tone and everything. So that's the power of putting that origin story in and your $1 million message. And like I said, I use those
Mm.
for
Cool.
passion and heart center. And yeah,
Okay.
fine for you.
Mine says more like God bless you and have a nice day.
And here's probably the most important part, and that is, who am I committed to becoming in the next 90 days? Who am I committed to becoming in the next 90 days?
What were you stopping at?
Unstoppable, yes, I love that.
So you can.
Who am I committed to
What were
becoming?
the other two steps too? That you did my next three.
Oh, yeah,
steps?
say the same thing over and over. What was the second?
Yeah, well,
No, I said, what are they for you? Like,
Oh.
what do you think you would be?
Come up with those.
So like, for example, and the reason why, because it might be, somebody's gonna go live that day to brand themselves, right? Somebody might be writing a blog. I mean, what is that for you? It could be different for everybody.
Okay, that's fair.
Could be launching on another social media account. Like maybe you're only doing one right now, and you're gonna launch another one and just build that new brand. That's why I said it's different.
Okay, fair.
Ready?
We'll do it.
And I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Ooh, thank you.
Okay, so I want to talk more about the content and
Is this being recorded anywhere?
Yeah, I have it on my phone here.
Really fast.
okay, so you know how I was talking about the 1,000 different things from one idea?
Yeah.
The thing that has to happen here is while people are going through the customer journey here, okay? Remember that this was awareness, consideration, decision, okay? Like A versus B, how it is, defining the problem. You know, what I want you to do is you're gonna basically come up with about or when you get this dialed in, okay, you're gonna have about 5 core topics that you'll always be going over all the time. You'll just be reworking them with these angles I'm about to share with you. Because there's only so many angles you can come at people from, okay? Like psychologically, they've dialed it in. Like, I think I just put the top 10. I think there's like 21 angles, but 10 angles with taking that same angle and rotating it with a different perspective, you will get. So for instance, a 4-digit lock, like, 4-number lock has like 10,000 combinations. So I'm going to give you 10 angles, and you could take 5 topics that each have 10 angles each that you can use recycled. You won't even get through all of them in your career, right? And you won't even need to. Harold and I were looking at some of the big creators that I was showing him
Yeah, that was cool.
his top, and it was just he had 20 posts that were just 99%. He was using, be better than the 99%, or why 99%. He just kept using that one angle because it worked. And that's and Gary Vee, if you go back through his content, after you've watched 3 of his videos, you've just watched all the videos on his channel. He just keeps it's like the best compliment you can get. Oh man, Sandy just says the same thing all the time. Like it's the same point that you're getting across all the time. Okay? So while they're going through this journey, okay, while you're defining the problem, you're showing them how it works, you're giving them comparisons so that they can make decisions. While they're going through this, you have to be checking these boxes off. And I'll tell you how I did this. You don't have to do this way, but to me, I just keep it real simple and I make it easy when I do this process. Okay, we're getting ready to do it right now with the new campaign we just launched. But until that person says to themselves, "I can do it," they're not going to. Right. So what can you think about your customer right now? If you were sitting down having a conversation with them, what would you talk about with them in a very not as a business person talking to a customer, or not as just a friend sitting beside somebody, your friend sitting on a log with you, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm just going through this." You're kind of consoling with them, right? They have to be able to say to themselves, "You know what? I can do this." Okay, so think right now, like, what is something that happened when you decided that you were going to do this that gave you this idea? Okay, because before you started, you said to yourself, "I can do this."
Yes.
Obvious. I mean,
Yes.
so what was it? what did you hear that made you have this idea that you can do it?
Michelle showed me how to make $900 in one thing.
Okay. Who else? What was it for you? What made you think that you
I
could
didn't
do
have to do a bunch of stuff like I had to do in the previous programs. It was all done for you.
System.
Okay,
Automations.
automations made you feel like you could do it?
The 2 hours of work to keep this up.
Okay, what made you feel like you could do it?
It was interesting. It's the belief that everybody was telling me, you can do this. I'm like, really?
So
Okay, I'm
community,
gonna do it.
community,
Yeah, it was the community. Yeah. That was
Okay.
the belief of others. Yeah.
The daily videos. I felt that was keeping me accountable every single day.
okay, so support community,
For me, it was a couple of things. Michelle saying I'm gonna create 100 self-made millionaires. I wanted to be one of those, and two, on a training call that I'd already purchased it, and it was done for me that really got me there. But then this solidified it. Michelle sat on a call. No kidding, there's like 40 people with questions, and she stayed on and answered every single one of them. And I knew her heart, and I knew if I had
Mhm.
that in my back pocket helping me, no chance I'm gonna I'm gonna succeed.
so, okay, so you guys are here.
Mentorship.
He said though, the fact that he created thousands of big millionaires, that's a movement.
Movement.
That's what people want to be part of. Well, I can do it. That, they want to be part of that.
So until you get them to believe that they can do it, all of these have to be checked. Okay, psychologically, like in our brains, we do this. So the next one is the vehicle has to work. They have to believe now in the vehicle working. Okay, so what made you believe the vehicle works? What was it for you, Kat?
Well, pretty much I kept on getting an email,
Mhm.
and plugging into the community, but really the vehicle working is, I kept on seeing the emails coming in, that automation, and then I purchase, and I'm like, oh, that's how it works. And that person said, yep. I mean, I knew who that person was. I really didn't know them. I knew them through a farming community, but I was like, oh, she goes, yep, now I get to go visit my family for Christmas.
Wow.
So that for me, it sold me that the vehicle works, because I knew that person. I didn't have to be sold too much.
So what was coming in all the time?
Emails, automation, emails.
Emails.
It's all made there. All the money's made there. It's all made there. Okay. So on that, here's what I did too. The automation thing is just amazing, right? Like it is.
Mhm.
You can like create an email and it could just keep working for you. So great. Okay, leverage. What I did every day, and she remembers this, I had like this, and we still have it somewhere. I had this like glass top table. I had, I had my lights set up. You know how I am with all my crap. And okay. So and every morning I just was, because I had trouble with consistency. Okay, and I would still say I do. But the thing is every day I was just like, you know what? Every day, if I had a best friend or somebody I really liked, or somebody that I really cared about, I'd probably talk to him every day. That was just kind of how I felt about it, right? Like I just kind of had this like, I talk to the people I care about every day almost. So I was like, well, I'll just have a little conversation with them every day. So every day I would just shoot a little video that went to nobody but them. It didn't go on social media. And I also used this as a way of getting people to my email list, because I'd let them know every day I'm going to send you a personal video that's going to help you. I'll let you know what's going on with me behind the scenes, and we'll talk about these angles here in a minute. But every day, and you don't have to do it. It was a short little video. Like we're not talking about, sometimes it was just a couple minutes long and I just sent it. It was so simple. I would use Loom now. Then it kind of sucked because I had to go put it on YouTube and all this stuff. But I would just use Loom and I would sit down and I would just shoot a little video to it, but I would talk to them. I'd look right at them and it was in business. It was just like, you have a martial arts business. Like let's not do this flyer thing. Like how many flyers can you really hand out? And I just had this little conversation with them about like support. You talked about support questions. There's so many questions that have been answered inside the DGC.
Right.
You can go in there and you can just ask ChatGPT to go crazy in there, right? You can just select all with posts and just dump it in there and just say, what is it? I do this all the time. I go to the wins and I just highlight the whole page. I'll hit Command A or Control A on PC and I just copy it, I dump it in a Google Doc, export it as a PDF, stick it in there.
Mhm.
What can I talk about? What's good here? You know marketing better than I do. What's good here? What's good? Okay. And then you can have little conversations. Like think about it as just, and you're just talking to that one person. There's only one person on your email list. Okay.
You know, I want to say something that you said that it does every once in a while. I can make a post in the community. Like the other day I said, what has been your biggest struggle? Marketing for consistency. Why do you think I did that? Because I put it all in one thing.
Oh,
Or I'll ask, what has been your wins? What would you like to see more of? Or, you know, why are you here? And I'll put all that into.
Yeah, and just I mean,
Use it. That's what the community's for. You get that data and put it in there.
yeah. But what is the reason you use a Loom video?
just because it's easy.
Connection and personal. When it's-
Yeah, but I mean, just Loom. Why don't you use like YouTube or
So
something?
here's
Easy
what I
platform.
Because I know when they open it, I'm emailed immediately when they open it.
Hmm,
And I know how much they watched or and how many times they watched it.
okay.
So if I create a video and it's like 2 minutes
Yeah.
and they leave it 20 seconds,
Mm.
I'll go back and watch, like, what did I do at that point?
Yeah.
Was that a lot of so what's in there?
Yeah, okay,
Like,
okay.
could have done better, and it helps me become better. So
Exactly.
that's what I love.
Okay.
And here's how
Dad, you get off of it.
Do you keep all those videos on the loom, like saved there? Or do you have to have outside of the loom saved?
It seems in Loom.
In loom, right? Okay. And then if you're sending a video to somebody, you just take the link to to
Yep.
the video, or you actually take the,
just the link.
just the link?
I'll show you guys what I do. Okay, like, and I don't even think I wasn't even thinking about anything she just said. That's really great what you said. But like, I just use Loom because I can press record, and when I get done, I have a link to share right away. And I'm done. Like I don't. There's no editing. There's no doing anything. You even.
No uploading, downloading, saving.
But I love the dad.
So, but yeah, there's the data, but then also, like, if you're trying to figure out your message, you probably get really good at it if you practice it every day. If you're just talking to them every day, and then I would just simply like, as I was talking to them, I would just be asking for replies. I ask them questions. I literally would just talk to them just like this. I'm like, how on earth can I help you if you don't ask me your questions? I know you have questions because you opened this email, you clicked on this video, and you're watching. And I know you're watching it because you're replying back. You know, you're talking to me. I see you watching it. I see what's going on, right? Why wouldn't you? You're here to get help. What's going on? And this would give me, and then I can take those videos. Sometimes I'm like, wow, that'd be a good like YouTube video. That'd be good. And it's just a nice little, you know, imagine I called you every day and I was just like, hey, what can I help you with? What's going on? What are you still struggling with? Okay. So you get. Yeah, it's.
No, travels.
So Mike, make sure I get this clear. So you would create that Loom video and you just send it out into your email list.
I treat my email,
You treat it as one person. Yeah.
Okay. That's
my
good.
best person. That's
Okay.
the only person I'm talking to.
And the video, you do that every day? And you'd create a video with a different question, a different angle, or talk about the same
Yeah.
thing, but say in a different way.
Yeah, and a lot of times
Okay.
there were just things that would be coming up in my head. I'd be thinking about in the shower when I'm like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with their, process? Like, how can I help them? And the way I made my emails was like this. And the person I learned from was very, very systems engineer type, very like cut and dry, like really boring, very straight, very direct, and very simple. Less is more. And so the way I do it is, I was always like, okay, I gotta have a cool subject line that's gonna get the thing open. This is the first mission, because I could have like my credit card number inside and tell them it's a spending spree, but if they don't open it, it don't matter, right? Like it's
Right.
so. And then there's that little preview line, and I just wanted this to be like the headline, and then this was like the sub headline, okay?
Mhm.
And I had a lot of fun with this. And I didn't have ChatGPT at that time. So it was like, you had to go look at headlines and Google headlines and, but I would always have fun with this. I'm like, what if I seen this, would it make me curious to open it? And I just played like a little game, And then I would have, the way I set it up is I would have a very simple bit of text here, and then I had a link. Then I would screenshot the picture of the video where it had the play button on it. I would screenshot it and I would just add a little picture in here. And then down here, I would say, here's what we're going to talk about. And I'd have 3 bullet points. And I'd say, you better go check it out. And then I'd have a link. Okay. Then I'd be like, all right, you know, you got this. And I always had a PS. And then it was like, make sure you're not one of those people that don't like go watch this or something. You know, I always like kind of tease them, you know?
And that link's the same
When you
link
get
for
done-
both of them.
Yeah, when you get done with your pizza party, karate pizza party, you know, or whatever. Okay. Make sure you watch this or whatever. I kind of tease them. I have fun. I'd be fun with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing's worse than having a problem and then somebody's like ultra serious with you trying to help you. It's like, really, let's be lighthearted, right? And then I would always put a link here. So I had link here. I had a link here. And I would never have a link going to 2 different places.
The same.
So these are all links to the video.
Always the same
Same
place.
thing.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna bring this home for you. This is not complicated, what I'm showing you right here. Okay? It's not at all, especially with systems. System's so simple for this. But here's the overarching thing. So this was always a hook, right? And then this was just a call to action to click the link. And they start to get used to it. And then I stopped doing it for a while to see like what would happen. Just like, because I was doing it all the time. They're like, where's the email? Because one time I heard I was trying to grow, and this guy said, I was horrible at growing my YouTube, my social medias. And he goes, I finally just went to the top 20 YouTube channels that were like what I wanted to be like. And I looked at their most popular videos, and he goes, I thought I was going to get like banned from YouTube. He goes, I just copied, there was 20 channels. And he goes, I took the top 10 videos off each channel, so 200 videos. And he goes, I just literally did them verbatim. He goes, I copied the headline,
Wow.
I copied everything, and I just copied them. I did my version of that, right? And he goes, I started getting some traction. He goes, I had, then my audience started going, man, you're just like my cup of coffee each day. And he's like, I just wanted to start, I wanted to be their cup of coffee each day. I was like, oh, I'll do that with email. So I would create this video. I would take a picture of the video, and then I would link the video. So, because they're going to click on it. Like, I thought about it like, you know, like they would open it, and I wanted this to be so short that when they opened it, they didn't really have to move their thumb to see it.
Okay.
You know, like I wanted them to be able to see the picture, see all the links, see the PS from the hook to the start. So as they open it, it's like, okay, no work afterwards, just open it, and I would send it at 7:30 every morning, because that's when I was like looking at stuff. I was like, when do I look at stuff? So I would just set it up every day at 7:30, or when I woke up, when I did it. Like if you look back at when you look at stuff, that's when you want to send it, because they're going to be like a lot like you. Okay, so this video, these links, okay, this link, this link, this link, and this link. I was like, I don't want to send them out to, you know, social media land and get all distracted. So I just took a web page and I just put whatever my topic was or whatever. I just put it up here, literally just one sentence. There's no fancy, just black text on a white background. I had that video right here, which with Loom, it just goes to Loom. You don't even have to worry about this, right? But this is what I did. Okay. And I still do this still. I call it my value tree thing. And then because the reason why is I put a button underneath it where they can go buy. You know, it take it to the sales page. Loom, you can just put a button in the Loom, right? Like, so you get Loom's perfect. It's like, it took care of all this. But what I did is I would just constantly talk to them. And then the things that resonated, I knew resonated because they reply, they you know, say stuff, you'd get reaction, you'd get feedback. And then I was like, okay, YouTube video. And I would expand on it, right? So again, remember how I talked about getting a bunch of videos, testing them, see which one's going? I played the science game on this. I was like, I'm just going to do constant experiments. And if I mix these two colors together and it brings a color out that I like, I'm going to keep doing that, right? So my process was I would do some sort of input. I'd put it out there and let it process against the market. So I'd make an email, put it out there. It would process with the people, and I'd get some sort of output. If there's the output I liked, I'd keep doing more of it. If it wasn't, I would take that feedback right here and I'd change the inputs. And I just kept it that simple. Just good old fashioned scientific method, right? Yep. So, not to get like, hopefully you're not like, okay. But this right here is so it got me so good at talking to them, and it got me being more relaxed to talk to them. Okay? And it helped me practice my message, and it helped me practice my voice, and it helped me practice to be better at speaking, because speaking is the highest paying thing that you can do. Okay? And it just made me so much better on social media. And then I could see where they were watching things. It just gave me all the stuff that I wanted to know. And I just did these different angles. And there was only about 5 things I ever talked about all the time. I just recycle those things. Okay? So the vehicle, why it works. Okay? What made you decide that this vehicle worked? Like, how did you know this was something that was good enough? This vehicle?
Me?
No,
Behind me, good.
behind you. Yeah, sorry.
I have the same answer as Matt.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was the same class, or Zoom call, but I felt that it was awesome when Michelle stayed on the call. And she kept saying, I need to get off here. I have an appointment at 4 o'clock. But she just stayed on the call and answered every question.
So support has been, it sounds like a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay? How many of you have told that story? Good, good. Like the long call, she
Yeah.
stayed on, okay, okay. So use that, because this has been mentioned several times. This is like the litmus test here, right? It's like, oh, this must be something, right? So let's talk about that. That'll help people know the vehicle works. Okay, outside of that, what is another thing that made you understand that the vehicle works? How did you know the vehicle worked?
The testimonies in the community, just, there's so many of them.
Okay, so testimonials. Here's a little hack. Grab a testimonial. You can go into the community, grab a testimonial, highlight the whole, go to the wins, okay? Highlight the whole thing and say, how could I explain this testimonial so that my audience, my ideal customer, it relates to them. And then you have a screenshot of it, okay? And you can just talk about it, right? You can hold it on your phone, you can have it on the computer screen. Yeah, that's another thing I like about Loom too. You can just have it up on your screen and it'll record your screen too. But if you ask it, how can I do like a little mini case study on this headline or whatever, or on this win, okay? And then just just talk about it, okay? Just talk about it. What else? What made you believe that it worked?
It worked on me.
Okay, so just actual like.
I can see how it worked on me when I read the 5 days to 7 days profit. So exactly. If not, if you do something.
So just actual you being bought in on it, like you're like, well, it's working on me, it's probably gonna work on someone else. Yeah, it's gonna get me.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? What?
Perfect customer is me. It would work on me too.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. What made you believe that this is like a good model, a good vehicle?
Me, testimonials, of course. I saw those. I saw those in the Facebook story. Someone's posting the wins. I was like, oh, what's going on here? That was that, like the 2-hour work, the structure, the training, the community.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I would like to add something, because when I started, which was earlier this year, February, March timeframe, I had a quick win right away, and then I didn't. I was still learning. However, I was starting to follow people on TikTok, not so much Facebook, but on TikTok. So I started following them, and they also commented. I did the comment and follow in the thumbs up and things like that. So what changed for me in the past month is people that I started and I joined their lives, or I was on the hallways watching it, and they may have had like 5 or 6 people. Okay. Same person doing the same thing, saying the same thing. That was only in March and April. And right now they've got 89, 126, 148. So they're not doing anything different except they're being very consistent. And I'm like, okay, what Michelle said in the beginning and what you're saying, that works. And then the automation is doing the work, the heavy lifting behind you.
So social proof was big.
Social proof.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how many of you this week have have went over like, you just, the whole thing that you talked about on your video or on your live is that you just went over a bunch of like reviews and testimonies.
Nope.
On my live, but in
I didn't, I.
In the video, I
On
did
your
not.
testimonial.
Yeah. You make
On my
money
live.
too.
Yeah, I also like the fact that this is like, I felt like people could do this, like, any, like, other people could do this, not just me.
It's a simple law.
User friendly for people,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Me believing they can do it is probably. the
yeah,
biggest
yeah, like it's kind of like, you know, you get like into an MLM, and it's like, you don't even want to tell your friend about it because you know it's probably not gonna work for him, you know? Yeah, yeah, so, but this
Yep.
does, okay. So that's, so they have to know that the vehicle works. And nothing proves that something works more than proof from like testimony and reviews.
Right.
It's the easiest way to prove something works by showing that it worked.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I can fly, I can fly. You can say that all day. You get the president of every country to tell every friend, yeah, he can fly. But you're still like, yeah, people can't fly. The best way to do it is just go outside and like, watch. Right? And that's the best way. So in any case, what can you do to just prove it, like just flat out, like unmistakably it's true, okay? Testimonials. Just go get the reviews. I was talking about the girl that had the $1,500 while she was packing her house up.
Yeah, that's solid.
Okay, so then they have to know that something outside of them is not gonna stop them. Okay? Well, I believe I can do this, and I know it's a good model, I know it's a good business, I know it's good, but my friends are probably gonna, make fun of me or something, so, Or, I've got this job thing and I just, I got time and I got 2 dogs and friends and, I got all these activities that I do, all these things. How am I gonna do all this, And so they have this like, they have this thing in their head that like stops them. It's like an excuse. It's a reason why to not do it, right? So how did you know nothing outside of you was gonna stop you?
I didn't. I mean, and it happens, like my business during tax season,
Mhm.
right? It did stop me.
Mhm.
Um,
But you did it anyway.
but I did it anyway, yeah, and I'm still doing it, and I'm here now. It's the belief and the want of wanting something more, wanting something better for my family,
Okay.
you know?
So what happens if you don't figure this out?
Then nothing changes and I stay right where I'm at.
Okay. What happens if you don't figure this out?
Nothing changes.
I haven't figured this
What
out.
do you mean by nothing?
Enough to-
What do you mean by nothing changes though? Is it like,
Don't get out of debt, can't travel the way I want,
and what happens if you don't get out of debt?
not real happy.
What happens if you don't get to travel?
Not really.
The life unfulfilled.
Not happy, yeah.
Not happy?
You're not getting that time with your family, you're not making those memories, you're not.
You never cross that bridge.
You go to death
The
with
happy
regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Working to be done.
Regret
yeah,
kind of stuff.
no regrets.
I would say if I continue the way I was going, I always tell my parents, I'm gonna
I
be
don't
a bit
know, this is
old.
working out for them.
I get older, if I don't make any changes in my life right now, I'm gonna be a bit old lady, so I feel sorry.
Oh, there. There you go.
And I also think
A
if,
bitter old lady.
if you don't figure it out, because it works. If you don't figure it out, for me, I think my confidence might be chipped a little bit. And
Yeah.
I know I can do this. I survived an organ transplant, major one, and I know I can do this.
Mhm.
You can get through the worst of worst, but this is happy, I'm not going back there.
So what happens if you don't figure this out?
Well, in 6 months, I may not have a job. I'll have to get another one. I don't want to do it.
When you want to go to work and I'm just joking.
I couldn't make like these.
That's actually a big thing I don't want her to do.
But you see, it's like it almost kind of feels like kind of icky when we even talk about it, like
Exactly.
Definitely.
There's a video about what happens if you don't get it where it hangs out.
Yeah, like what happens if you what's it gonna be like if you don't find something that is gonna get you this thing that you're trying to get? Like what's that like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna accept that?
No.
No.
What's that word,
I'm not willing to accept.
These are kind of that you hear how I'm talking to you. This is how I talk on the video to them, like a friend, like somebody that like really cares. it's it's just being just normal you know? And, but it's just asking those questions, but the reason I like this video here is, okay, how many of you, honestly, okay, when you wake up in the morning and between the time of you getting up, taking a shower, or whatever your little routine is, put the makeup on, and all that stuff, how many of you watch a video or listen to something? Okay, see everybody? What do you usually watch?
I usually listen to something inside of community. A lot of times I'll listen to like a mindset piece or a video that maybe somebody's recommended, like a Tony Robbins thing, but usually it's something from them to still in within the community.
What about you? Did you raise your hand? That you
Me? I didn't raise my hand because I don't always listen to something, but when I do, a lot of times it'll just be a spiritual message or spiritual music.
Okay.
Yeah, get started.
What about you, Don?
I'm usually just peruse in marketplace.
Uh-huh.
For sale to my area that I might need.
Okay. What about you? Did you raise your hand?
I did. Truthfully, I get on and look at TikTok, see how many responses I got.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll end up scrolling a little bit and then I'll go and look at I got to get my notifications cleared off my Facebook because it drives me nuts to have notifications on there. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to go get ready for work. And then I'll either listen to, anyways, that's
Okay.
there's something else, or I'll listen to some spiritual and then I'll just some leadership training or something. But
Does anybody got to drive in the morning on a regular basis?
no, I used to.
Yeah. What do you listen? You listen? You watch videos and stuff? You listen to things?
I listen to either your lessons or just creating helping the algorithm see that I am busy on TikTok, so just listening to lives with somebody or just that's what I do when I take the drive. But in the morning when I wake up, I post my previous and listen to something.
I drive a lot, and a lot of times I'll listen to the lessons that I've missed. Like if I'm with a client,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it's Monday calls, I'm either in an office at a desk, and I got my thing going, or I'm in the car and I'm driving.
So what's interesting here is the thing that I see is it had a lot to deal with like mindset. It seemed like
Yes.
in the morning. Yeah. How many of you listen to a ton of mindset around noon and dinner time?
No.
You're bogged down. You're dealing with things. Okay. So what would be a good one to go out in the morning?
Mine.
Something that helps them like maybe check in with themselves a little bit.
I read mindset stuff in the morning. I like to read as opposed to listen.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's really neat about this and like giving and again, you don't have to do a video every day. I don't think it's that big a deal. You sit down and talk, right? You're gonna
Start once a week.
Yeah.
Start doing it once a week.
Yeah, it's something, just to me though, it's like when that guy said, I just be their cup of coffee each day. That made a lot of sense to me. Okay. We all have our cup of coffee each day. If it's not coffee, we all have our little
Something.
something every day, right? Yeah.
In the morning.
And every morning I go do my thing. I'm always listening to like something that I'm trying to figure out. Right? I usually look up something that I'm trying to figure out, or that I'm trying to learn more about, or that I'm trying to, sometimes like just anything where I'm like, all right, trying to figure this out, and I'll walk through that. It's very, very normal for me to do that. So when you do this though, you're constantly in front of them all the time. You're constantly in front of them. It's like Coca-Cola, right? There's like if they could fit their name on it, it was going on. Like all the time, everywhere, just all the time. Okay, they just built that like connection, that brand, that okay. So nothing outside of me. So how did you know with as busy as you were, like how did you know this wasn't that all that stuff wasn't gonna stop you from doing this?
The 2 hour work though, like I had to like make that.
Mhm.
So like I would do my content on Sundays and I would just plan things out. And I would do a cut and paste in my throughout the week. If I got an idea, I would do a cut and paste and I would put it in after I did it, put it into Words. And I would have the hashtags there and everything, the hook, whatever, copy paste.
So who thought that something would stop them? Who's worried about that? What were you worried about?
my own mind.
Your own mind stuff,
Lack of self-confidence and self-worth.
100%, yeah. Anybody else that like when you were going to do it, were you thinking like, ah, you know,
My daughter,
what about that?
that they didn't want me to do it.
Why?
It might be a scam. It
Uh-huh.
probably is a scam.
So other people that care about you trying to,
Protect you.
what did you say? How did you overcome it?
I said, well, okay, because my daughter asked me not to spend any more money on it.
Mhm.
I said, well, okay. So I would secretly go and watch the Zoom meetings and.
And what were you looking for when you were doing that? Yeah, like you'd watch the Zoom, you weren't in yet. You were like, you were thinking about doing it, but your daughter didn't want you to.
No, I was in.
Okay, before you got in though, your daughters didn't want you to do it?
No, they didn't know about it before.
They didn't know? Okay. So, but while you were in it, they were like, I don't know about this, mom, like,
No, they didn't say that. They said, don't do it. It's a scam.
okay. And how did you,
But I just had the 300 and I was communicating with the person about upgrading. So my daughter was like, don't spend it.
got it. And what was it that you internally like said to yourself, like what made you do it anyway?
Do what anyway?
Like you upgraded and you got your here?
No, I do not spend any more money yet.
Well, you're here though, you said.
I know.
Come here.
No,
So maybe-
go ahead with where you're at, right where you're at, yeah.
Right.
Keep going.
So when I saw that my daughters were both struggling financially, living paycheck to paycheck, I said, I don't care what they say, I have to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we have to like, we have to talk, they have these things. Tell me, she's the only one in here that had somebody trying to, or something outside of you wasn't stopping you.
My family did the same thing. They came and said, this is a scam. They said, look at me and tell me that I haven't changed. And they said, oh, sweetie, you have to.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So what would you, if somebody right now is feeling the same way that you were feeling then when they were telling you this stuff, knowing what you know now, what would you do? What would you say to them?
That you can do this and that you can show to your family that you can change.
So, okay, so,
I hurt them and now I wasn't hurting anymore.
okay. So you would say that like, the change isn't always just like, so,
Oh, yeah, the change isn't always about money. The change could be about how you grow and be the person you're supposed to be and be who you are
Mhm.
instead of hiding under a rock.
Okay. So how many of you have done a video, is, you send out to the email or you're talking to your people about that? About, there's these things that are stopping you, Something might be talking in your ear. Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your friends, coworkers, maybe you're worried about this, worried about that.
Maybe it's you.
Maybe it's you, okay? What are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do about that? Like, this is what I say to them. Like, what are you gonna do about that? Are you gonna let something like that stop you? If it doesn't work out, is that it for you? Or you just squashed, it's not worth the try? Because how many of you, when you were gonna do this and get into this, there's this thing where you're thinking, I don't know, I have a lot going on. I have these things happening, right? Like, and it was an evaluation. You were like, should I do this? Can I do this? Okay,
I think they're okay.
I mean, did you?
I was worried about family again because I tried other programs and hadn't had very much success.
Mhm.
So I was actually afraid to spend more money and get into something again that honestly, I wasn't gonna follow through with it.
Okay. So far, we've had a few things that we talked about, but a lot of it not that we talked to our people about, right? And these are the things that really truly matter. Like they really do. Okay. So being able to talk to them, first off, how many people think that like creating a little Loom video that nobody sees but your audience, your list, okay? How many of you feel like that would be too hard to do.
It's very easy, actually.
Oh, I've done it.
I create news every day from my community.
Mhm.
It's like I have like a little free pocket coaching thing inside of it, and I just do a quick minute video and then upload it next day.
It's easy.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Well, now that I figured it out today,
Yeah,
But I don't know how to do it.
yeah.
Logan will show you. He
Yeah.
helped me.
Loom is so easy and it's like so inexpensive. It's so. So you do a video and you do a video too. What kind of feedback do you get?
Well, I haven't been posting it as just a Loom. I've been uploading it to YouTube and doing it on this one, so I never know really if the people are actually watching or not. I do ask my community what do they want to see more of, but based off of that is what I create for them. And then I do get some engagement based off of the videos that I create, and I also try to add like YouTube, like if it's something I'm teaching or something about, then I grab a YouTube video and put that in there. But they like it because like the other day, even though I've been here, I've created all my videos beforehand, so I can still put them in my community. And the one day I didn't have the video in the, like when you posted inside the community section, and one guy said, where's the video at? And I'm like, well, it's in the course because it's the pocket coaches is in the course, and I'm not here, but I'll get to it, so they're still paying attention,
Yeah.
That's
So
us.
how does it help you when you do a video every day? Like it helps you communicate better, huh?
Yeah.
It really
You know
truly
what
does.
your perfect customer needs.
So you see, like when Michelle every day does a video. First thing she does when she wakes up every single day, and it goes to the community, like the 90-day round. As soon as one gets done, another one starts. Okay. Why does she do that? Who watches them first of all? Okay. Do you guys make the point to watch it?
Yeah, 5 minutes, one, I hope that. Yeah, a lot of times.
She stopped doing them.
Sorry.
Why?
Because they're helpful.
Why? Like, what do you mean?
It gives me information that I need to get better. My.
Some tricks, new
Bite
ideas.
size. Bite size.
Exactly, and it's like.
For a day.
Bite size.
It's a drip into my mind that I can hear and I can handle in the moment. And
I
I'm
like
not
the
sitting down
content
for an hour.
ideas
Maybe
It drives
we should
back
do
to
that.
as well.
Yeah.
It drives what?
Action.
Look at him, he's like, hello, are you listening to yourself?
You all need
Yeah.
communities.
Hello, are you listening to
But
yourself?
just a Loom video to your list.
You can do a Loom video, yeah, you can do a Loom video to your
Or-
emails every day.
Like just you know, look at the reaction.
I could recreate her Loom video and send it to my list.
Oh,
I could
okay.
do that in practice. I would easily. But think about that, like look what it's done to you. Like it was a resounding don't stop. It helps you, motivates me, drives action, helps me get through things. All the stuff that has to happen for somebody to buy. And it's easy. It's simple.
Yeah.
Bite size.
Yeah. Because then I don't feel like I'm sitting all day trying to pay attention. Yeah, 2 hour plane ride, I have plenty of time to pay attention. Yeah, I can do it while I'm doing the dishes and making breakfast, right?
So just, I want you to think about like, you could just easily talk about these things that easy, that simple to them and have a great little conversation and be the cup of coffee shit. And through that, you're gonna find, like, I'm sure Michelle knows, just like, how many times, Mo, when you're doing your 90-day run, you're doing the call every single day. How many, by the end of the 90 days or whatever, how many times are you like, all right, these topics that I did, day 22 and 38 and 14, these were like, you noticed a big like feedback difference. Do you ever get that? Like when you send out the 90-day call, some of them get like a lot of engagement or a lot of like impact, like more than the others sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
that's
would you-
what I know I need to lean more in on.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the gap. That's the gap I need to fill.
Yeah, so instead of like guessing, right?
Wait, say that again. So which get is the
Yeah,
gap?
so like
between
when
jump-
I did the one over the formula. And then when I did that one over the formula, like it was like 200-300 comments.
So
I'm
you
like,
need,
they
find
need
that one.
more of that, so I need to go deeper with that.
And what's something that you could do with
So
that?
if you don't get comments.
Take the
if you
video,
don't get comments,
transcribe
you don't
it,
need
transcribe the post,
Right.
transcribe
Well, it's
the
like
questions, the engagement, all that. How do I make,
Answer them.
yeah, how do I make 10 more videos like this that are all different, but they're all doing the same thing? They're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, why is this so simple when you explain it to us? But yeah, my brain does not seem to work that
That's
way.
so simple when you guys are talking about this, and then yet it's like.
It doesn't seem my brain don't see it.
It's just reps. It's a reps thing. You just gotta get, this is why this is why we do this stuff. I mean, it is. There's something that happens when you get out of your normal environment and you're in a place where everybody in here is kind of geared towards the same idea. We're all trying to like grow our business and figure this out. So, we have like this collective mind happening in here. And sometimes this is why coaching and masterminds and things like this are imperative unless you want it to take forever and be harder and, okay. So it's not these big booms that make the big change. It's just a little simple adjustment thing. So this is exactly what I would do too. It's like I would send out all these videos and I knew when I get feedback back, it's like, that's the YouTube video I'm gonna make now because did that. And I didn't have ChatGPT, so I had to like go out and like I said, I always Google what are the top headlines that always work, and then I'd have to like work with that and sit there and have to try to like I'd have to like actually use my head. And now she could take that post and every type of engagement, all of it, stick it in there and say, how can I create 10 YouTube videos about this or TikToks or whatever, right? And that it's going to hit, that it's going to work. Alex Hermosi, one time he said that every day he just tweets stuff out, whatever. And he goes, at the end of the month, I'll go back and whichever tweets got the most engagement, I turn those into videos.
Oh.
It's like, cast all these things out there. Which one caught? Okay, put that one over here. We'll keep using that. All right?
Yeah.
So
It's like
something's not
marketing.
connection there for me. So I gotta clarify. So you did, Michelle, the video in our community on the formula, the KLT, is that what you're talking about? And you got 300 comments on it. You're saying take that, and that's in our community people already bought, and put in ChatGPT and make that as videos out on TikTok for the awareness stage or whatever, and do that. Okay.
It's pure raw.
I'm overthinking.
Data. It's
So like, for example, obviously that they needed that.
Yeah.
So if they needed it, don't you think your potential customers might need it?
Right. Well, I needed it. I took that and I put it in my ChatGPT 2 and created a help with the 30-day content. And I used that formula and said, I want videos with the know, like, trust formula, the CTA. Here's my hashtags, and it spit out. Okay. Yeah.
Create.
Right. But
This is the formula that we are learning inside the program, and you talk about the no trust formula.
yeah.
And you let them know what they're getting in the program.
How it works. And
So one thing that you can do, and I'm
Okay.
not gonna drag you through all this, but they're called copy angles, or in other words, speaking angles, or in other words, exactly what you're doing all the time. Okay, which is speaking, creating content. There's the escape pain, break free. Tired of trading time for money? As simple as it may be, you can do this, and then you can take this headline and make 200 of them different than this, but making the same point. When we did that, Harold, we looked. Like I said, you're going to have about 5 main topics. This is like a topic. Okay, this is the topic. Your audience is stuck. Offer a way out. It's real simple. Okay, you're stuck. Here's a way out. It's so simple. Okay. All you have, this is an angle that you can use all the time. So you might have, like I said, 5 topics that you always talk about in awareness. What's one topic in awareness? You're trading time for money. That's one topic. Now we can take that trading time for money and we can run it against these 10 different angles that are proven angles for like 100 years or more.
how do we get that?
Just type in what are the top 10
that.
proven copy angles. And I just go for selling digital products and courses and coaching memberships, since that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's just a Google search?
This is us. I'm on ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think I have another one down here that's even more opened up. Yeah, I can give you guys this. Here we go. This is the based on buyer psychology and performance data from top funnels. Okay. Same thing. Top 10 highest converting copy angles in online marketing today. Okay. So this first one is problem, agitate, solve. Does your back hurt? Doesn't it, okay, problem, okay, agitated. You know, you get out of bed and you gotta like sit there on the edge of the bed for a little bit and then you get up and you're like, you gotta hold the wall. It's terrible. You can't do anything. You can't go kayaking, can't ride your bike, can't get in and out of your car. Let me show you how to fix it.
That's it. Can't stay down.
Problem, agitate, solve. Oldest trick in the book. It'll always work. Okay.
Mhm.
It's like you go to any fishing store, you'll see a spinnerbait in there.
Mhm.
Every fishing store sells a spinnerbait. Every fishing store sells a rubber worm. Right? Why? There's about
They work.
there's crankbaits, spinnerbaits, and worms, and then just a hook with a real worm on it. Right? These have been working forever. Right?
Mhm.
What you don't ever see anything different. They just make them different colors,
Mhm.
different sizes,
Mhm.
packs of 3. Right? Same thing. Same exact thing. Okay. Tennis shoes have looked the same forever. Okay. Right? High top, low top. They found these 5 core things that work, and then they use it per where we're at. Okay. You don't wear scuba gear to go bicycling. Use scuba gear in the water. Okay. You don't talk about, this stuff down here until, this up here. Right. They don't want to compare anything. What are you even talking about? I don't even want to know about that. You're comparing things. Okay. So you gotta just use the secret or hidden truth. The one thing 99% of online business owners are doing wrong. How many people always want to know what they're doing wrong? I can't tell you how many people today. Can I talk to you for 5 minutes? I just want to know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. How many of you have done a post about what people are doing wrong to change their income? Anybody ever done that one?
No.
Yeah, working overtime, second job. Business.
Mm.
Okay.
Or, 3 things that will not work in digital marketing.
So we've never done a video like what a lot of people that want to quit their job, or what a lot of people that are making 50, 75. What am I doing?
Turn that, so.
Oh.
Here, give it back to me now, and then I can.
So sorry. Oh, damn. So the one thing that I get asked the most is, what am I doing wrong? And the one thing that you want to know the most is what you're doing wrong.
Mm.
And you guys are the only people that want to do that.
It's special.
Hey. Yeah,
Exactly.
We're the only ones that came to your house.
find the problem. Okay, define the problem. All right. If you're trying to not have to go to that job every day and you're just sick and tired of telling your kids, I wish we could get more Christmas presents next year. What are these people doing wrong so that you don't make that mistake? In this video, I'm going to show you.
Is that still, I'm sorry, is that still the awareness?
Yes.
Yeah,
All of those are still.
they're not even aware what they're doing wrong.
Okay, that's right.
We'll
Okay.
point that to the.
Okay. What about how do we use that same angle in the how it works thing? Okay.
That'd be more like what I
Hmm?
did. That would be more like what I did.
Mhm.
What are you doing wrong when you do? Well, like, you don't have time to get a second job, but do you have time to work 2 hours a day?
So that's awareness.
Oh,
That's awareness. Okay. Now they're aware that there's a different way to make money other than the model that they got sold on, which is time for dollars.
right, working for somebody else.
Get a good job, go to school, get a good job, ride the ladder, retire at 401k of 500,000 in it, okay, which won't even do anything for you now.
Mhm.
Okay. So that now they're aware that, okay, there's a better model out there. Now they're like, all right, well, how's this thing work? Okay. And we're going to use the hidden truth or the secret or the FOMO or the, this is again, what we're doing wrong and how to fix it. Okay. How would you use that here?
Here's what the 1% are doing to never have to decide how many Christmas presents to get for their kids.
Okay. Awareness.
That's awareness again?
They already know they have a problem. Okay.
If you're working, you're
it's-
working 8 hours a day, and let me show you how you can work 2 hours a day, and what you do in 2 hours.
There you go.
Okay, one more time.
Hello?
There you go. No, but see, so the difference is this. One of them is helping them realize that make them aware that they're in the wrong model. Okay, that they're, and again, the only person that's going to be able to hear you, the only person that would ever hear you is the person that wants what? Two things. Okay, so this person's already wanting these things. They already want it. You don't have to convince them. Nobody had to convince you guys want more time and money. Okay. So once they become aware that the reason they don't have more time and money, once they become aware of the fact that they're just in the wrong model, they're just in the wrong system. Like Warren Buffett said, I went to school with a guy, he was so smart, he was better than me at everything. He was intelligent, better looking, he was better charisma, everything. He went off and he only made a couple $100 million. He said he only went off and made a couple $100. He got into the steel business and started a big steel business. Now he goes, that's not bad money. He goes, but I made 100 billion. He goes, and he worked so much harder than me. He goes, so the big problem is, no matter how hard you can paddle your butt off. If you're in the wrong boat,
Right,
it don't matter.
right.
Okay? It don't matter. So, okay, so these people are now aware they're in the wrong boat. Now the next thing they do, is they're like, well, how do I get in the other boat? Okay, so now if we're doing this one, this angle. Okay. Nobody? What would you do?
Aren't you gonna compare?
No? Right here. They just go, oh, they're like, oh, their eyes are open. They're like, oh, I'm in the wrong model. What's your next question? What's your next question?
What do I do next?
How do I get into the other boat? Okay. Here's what people that have problems with having more time and money. Here's what they're doing wrong and why they can't find the right model. Okay. That's the content. Hey, are you realize right now that the model you're in is not going to do it for you, right? It's not, because like if this doesn't work, okay, which feels icky to talk about, right? It does. If this doesn't work, you have to do what? Get another job, another time, okay? You're like, just the thought of it is miserable, right? Okay. So
That's the decision stage?
No, that's.
no, I'm just talking to you right now.
Okay.
I'm just talking to you right now.
Okay.
So what would you watch a video? Okay. Would you watch a video? And I know it's kind of biased in this situation, it's tough. Okay. But would you watch a video if it was like, hey, if you're right now trading time for dollars, you can't do the things with your kids that you want to do, and it's driving you nuts, but you just can't figure out like, what am I doing wrong that I don't find this other model that works? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that 99% of people do wrong when it comes to getting out of that situation. Because they already know they're in the situation now.
Right.
Now this is the path. How do I solve it? Okay? How do I solve it? So, because here's what happens. They realize they're in this wrong business model or this wrong system that doesn't pay them right. Then they go, well, how do I get out of it? And somebody out there shows them. What you got to do is you got to get into a thing that doesn't trade your time for dollars and still pays you more, right? Gives you leverage. Okay. Then they watch a video that shows them that they can post content. They can have a business model pre-made for them. It's ready to go. 2 hours a day, post content, stays out there working. Now they go, okay, I see how this whole online business thing works. Now I need to get one.
Is that still?
Then hold on. Then they come here. They're like, let me go look at what I can do. Let me go look at the options that I have. Okay. And as they're looking at options, okay, what do you do when you find out, okay, I need to get a new lawnmower? Okay. You go out and you're like, well, let's see all the lawnmowers that are available. And then you read the what?
Reviews.
Reviews.
Right. You go to buy a new something from Amazon. Okay. You go to buy a new camera. Okay, you go to buy a new one of these stands or whatever. What do? You how many of them do you look at first of all before you buy them?
Too many.
Too many. And when you look at them, what are some of the signs that tell you I should buy this?
How many people is buying?
Or frequently
Out of 5.
returns, keep scrolling.
Okay.
Yeah, reviews.
Reviews. How many people bought it? Okay. How many people bought it? So what would this be for us?
Can tell me now.
That thing. Reviews, you look at the reviews, what would this be for us?
Social proof.
Which session, social proof, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, you see this? So, and then the comparison, right? So before you guys got into this business, this was the only thing you looked at?
No, that's the only online thing I would do.
Okay,
This is the only one Michelle's in.
okay, but you see what I'm saying? Everybody had looked at things.
Mhm.
Well, what if I did all the work for you? You know what? I know you're looking for a new tripod, all right? I went out and reviewed all of them. And I looked at all the reviews for you. I picked out the pros and the cons. This is what Amazon's doing for you, by the way.
Yeah.
They did it for you already. It's easy. Just go there, all the reviews are there, everything's there, and you buy it
Right.
like that. Okay? This, do you see this cycle?
Yeah.
And then you get in it,
Clear.
and when it works, what do? Or when it works, what do other people see?
Well, they see.
They see you being more successful. They see your life upgrading. They see, okay, and so, and then you talk about it, because that's naturally what happens. So that gets more people on the top of here. They see you changing. They see it. You don't have to talk. Okay. So many times they're like, "Oh, I love you're in a new place, new background." Tell me right now, for real, when you see different backgrounds all the time in the videos, that doesn't give you a little pump up, a little bit like, all right,
Yeah.
that's me.
Oh, wait till in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
Go down in the dock and do my stuff on the dock, so you
But-
can see the lake behind me.
but you're doing that, because of what you're doing, your background is changing.
Yeah. Right. And I'm getting more engagement because I did that.
Mhm. Okay,
Slowly.
so this is what happens. If it does good, it goes here and you get more social proof. And then other people start advocating and talking about you to other people. So now you're getting one drip. The people that are talking about that your customers now are like, oh, I got in with Matt, guy helps me like crazy. All of a sudden, they're talking about it now. Now more leverage. You did something once, and now this other things that then other people are talking to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then this goes faster. And it goes faster. The first million was so hard. The fifth million was in 3 months later. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Actually, hitting 6 figures was harder than a million.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it is. That's that initial hill.
It is, guys, seriously, getting that 6 figures is harder because you're creating the momentum. Once you hit 6 figures, you already got the momentum. You already got the email list. The million comes.
6 figures in this business, 111 people. 6 figures in this business is 111 people after that legacy. Okay. So.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So the food's here.
Oh, yeah.
Can we take a break?
Yeah.
It's like steak and shrimp and chicken, and I
Yeah.
just don't want that.
Let me just say this and I'll be done. This.
I mean, they have more questions
Yeah.
about the projects. Can we just
Yeah.
take a,
Yeah.
like, eat and then come back and do?
Let me just say this one thing because it's in my head. Yes, 100%. Okay. All of these right here, all of these angles, and I think there's like 21 or something. Like I'm talking like proven, some scientifically proven. Like these get used by copywriters. It is like it's like paint in a painter's paint box. Okay. Like these are the different colors that they use all the time to make any picture. Okay. This right here, the hidden truth, speed and ease, lazy wins. Launch your first digital product in 24 hours. What could it be here in defining the problem? Okay, you have to
Launch
answer.
your first online business in 24 hours, even if you've never sold anything online before.
Even if you're reading this from your cubicle. Okay. What about how to here?
It's a done for you business.
Okay. So in this one, speed and ease, in 5 steps and about 15 minutes, you're going to know exactly how to run an online business that can do 6 and 7 figures. Step 1.
That's good.
Okay. What about down here? Speed and ease. Okay. You're not going to have to spend another minute outside of this video that you're going to watch. Okay. Because I did speed and ease. I gathered up all the things that you could possibly do that are even worth a crap. And I found the reviews for each of these and why they're good and why they're bad. And I found one that's better than all of them. And I'll show you why. Okay. Number 1. Okay, speed and easy. I saved you time. Okay, I saved you time. I got the reviews. I did the work for you. I'm gonna show you. That's how you use it. Okay. Authority proof based. Used by 12,000 course creators to earn 10 million without spending a dime on ads. Okay. Up here.
Okay.
Is it starting to make sense?
It's
I
53,000.
know you can't just like pop it, okay?
Yeah.
But,
And I know,
okay,
everything from me it goes. to-
53,000 people can't be wrong.
Yes.
Okay, 53,000 people can't be wrong. And in that 53,000, somebody just like you is in there, and that's why I want you to watch this.
Oh,
Because they were sitting in the cubicle just like you are right now. They were talking to their consulting client just like you are right now. They were telling their daughter that they can't pick up the grandkids right now. They're just like, okay.
So
But after you watch this video, okay, now the how-to, how do you do this one for the how-to, okay? Used by 12,000. 53,000 people every day do these three things, and that's why their entire life is not like yours probably is right now, where you don't have time to do anything. You can't pick up the grandkids. I'm gonna show you step one. Halfway through, just in case you might want to know, there's a video down below that you can watch. Okay, I don't want to take any more time, but this is the point. I'm gonna keep doing this. This is all we do.
And you
Tell
tell
me
me that
this.
sense in our folder or something?
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Please.
But this is, and then
That's what's important.
the cup of coffee, okay, and then through this, guess what's happening? They're falling in love with you. They're learning little quirks and kinks about you. There's no way that you could tell you could go through these things and these levels and not share something about you in your life. It's impossible. It's all you have to make example. So they'll learn your story without you even trying. And then guess what? If you do the same thing with a different headline, so I can take any of these and I can take this right here, highlight it, put it down in ChatGPT and say, make 200 versions of this. Jeez. That are completely different, but they all say the same thing. And then you just do it. That's it. And then you just master the mundane.
So simple.
And that's what it is.
I know, it's that second stage that I
Yeah,
always get hung up on.
so
It's just, what are the steps you got to take to get there? What are the steps? What's
Practice.
okay. Oh man, my knee's bleeding. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna fix this? Get online, put a Band-Aid over it, wrap it with a rag and put tape over it so it doesn't fall off. You just hold pressure on it.
Yeah.
These are the different things that you can do.
Disinfectants as well.
Here's why I would use a Band-Aid instead of just holding your hand on it. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that worked. Hey man. Oh, you bought your knee too? Listen, I bought some Band-Aids. Now Band-Aids are selling like crazy. You use them again. Your friends use them. They come over asking for them. You advocate. I mean, this is what happens. And that's all it is. These three stages. And the more you talk to somebody, the more you start to connect with them.
Right, right.
The more you hang out with somebody that you've never hung out with before, you have a different feeling with them. Look how much different our connection is here. From being on the screen just to this.
Yeah, totally different.
And this hasn't even been a lot of times.
Right.
And look how deep it is. Why? Why is it? Because it's advantageous for both of us. We're all learning from each other. You're helping me take time, not have to take so much time. You're saving me from misstepping. That's valuable. That's all you're doing for them. And eventually they're like, I'm doing this. I cannot not do this. I feel silly not doing this. Okay.
Cool.
Thank
Thank you.
Right, let's eat. You guys knew you were gonna gain 5 pounds when you came here.